Okay, guys, we finished with the features of Java. I think everyone have written that question and answer in the notebook. Now we will start with the next topic. Introduction of OOPS. OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming. So we are calling OOPS OOPS always OOP, that is. So what is the meaning of OOP? That is nothing but Object Oriented Programming. So what is this? This is a technique used to develop programs revolving around the real world entities. So related to real world entities, the programs will be solved by using this technique. Okay. So what is this OOPS? It is one technique by using which we can develop the programs which are involved with real world entities. Okay. What do you mean by entity? Entity means nothing but thing. Okay. Real world things. So it will be related to real world things. Okay, it is one technique here. Technique. So what is this technique? We are going to implement the programs by using this technique. Okay. So what type of programs we are going to implement which are related to real world entities? So what do you mean by entities? Entity means the general meaning is things. Okay. So OOP stands for Object Oriented Programming. It is one technique by using which we will develop the programs related to real world entities. Okay. In OOPS programming model, programs are developed around data rather than actions and logics. So in this model, in OOPS programming model, we will develop the programs around the data. Okay, not depends on the logic and actions. Okay. Then in OOPS, every object has properties and behavior, which is achieved through the class and object creation. So every object has properties and behavior. Okay. Behavior means nothing but we can write it in method. Method means nothing but function. Properties means variables. We will create the variables now. Those are nothing but properties. Behavior, the behavior we can implement through the methods, which is achieved through the class and object creation. So how to write the class? We have seen one simple program, first program, right? So how to write the class and how to create the object, we didn't do that. We are going to do it later, okay? So how to write the classes and how to create the objects, we are going to learn in the next topics, okay? They contain properties. Properties means variables. Already I have told you now. Properties means nothing but variables. Already we know what is the meaning of variable, okay? So property means nothing but variable and behavior means nothing but method. So what is method? It is nothing but a function. We created functions in C. Did you remember, all of you? So same like functions, here in Java we are going to write methods. Okay. Java is fully object oriented language because object is at the outermost level of data structure in Java. So Java is fully object oriented language. Okay. So totally it will depend on the objects. So totally it will depend on the objects. So Java is fully object oriented language because object is at the outermost level of data structure in Java. That means outermost level means mostly we are using objects in Java. Okay, that is the meaning. Everything in Java is object. So everything in Java is object only. even the primitive data types can also be converted into object by using the wrapper class. So primitive data types. Primitive data types means main data types. Okay. Int, float data types are there, no? The data types are also can be converted into objects by using the wrapper class. Wrapper class is one predefined class in Java. By using that class, everything can be converted. Every data type can be converted into an object. That is the meaning. Okay. Now, principles of object-oriented programming. Okay. For all object-oriented programming, these will be the principles. Okay. So what are the principles? Classes, objects, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. So class, it is very, very important as we are going to write the programs in class only. Okay. Every Java program, okay, all the Java programs, every Java program we are going to write in class only. Okay. So class concept is always used for developing programmer defined data types. To develop concept of class, we use a keyword class. Without class concept, there is no Java program. For developing programmer defining data types, if programmer defined data types means nothing but the users will create the data types, no? That one. Okay. The user will write the code in classes. Okay. That is the meaning. To develop concept of class, we must use a keyword class. Without class concept, there is no Java program. So without using class, there is no Java program. We cannot write any Java program without using class. Definition. The process of binding data members and associated methods in a single unit is known as a class. So what is the definition of class? A process of binding. Binding means nothing but getting together. Okay. Taking together. Okay. Taking together the data members. Data members means nothing but variables we will create. Okay. And associated methods. Associated method means what? By using these data types, we will create some functions. Those are nothing but methods. Combining those two things is known as class. Okay, so in class, what we will combine? Variables and methods. That is the meaning. Okay, the data members of a class means nothing but attributes, properties. The data members of a class means attributes, properties. Already I told you, properties means nothing but variables. Okay. Methods means behavior. Okay. Methods can be known as behavior. So we have syntax. Or as we know already, syntax means nothing but a rule. It is a rule how to write a particular thing. Okay. So here what rule we are learning? How to write a class. Okay. So it is nothing but class keyword. Then we have to write class name. So how to write a class name? Already I told you. We have to start a word with capital letter and only first letter should be capital letter and all the remaining letters should be written in the small letters. Okay. Then variable declaration, method declaration. Okay, we have one example here. See here. Class is a keyword. So always we will write the keyword in small letters only. Space student. See here, student is class name. So only first letter we are using capital letter. Okay, uppercase letter we are using. All the remaining letters are in smaller case only. Okay. Then we are creating some variables here. ID, int ID, string name. String is also one data type, name. So that means it is nothing but character type of array will be created with the name. Okay. With this name, one array will be created. In that we can store characters. Then int marks. It is one variable. String college name. Okay. So it is also a variable. So here space should not be there. We will not use spaces to create the variables. Already we know that. Then here it is nothing but it is a declaration of a function. Function means nothing but method. Public void get print grade. Okay, it is nothing but a method declaration. We are declaring one method here which we are going to define later. Okay, so public is a class access specifier girls. So if we will write here public, then only we can call this function from the other class. Okay, so it is about the class. Okay girls, now we will start with the next uh, topic. What is that? Objects. Okay, so what we are seeing now, these all are nothing but principles of object oriented programming. So what is the first principle? Class. What is the second principle? Object. Okay, objects. So instance of class is known as object. Okay, instance means what ma? Instance means nothing but it can be called as a copy. Okay, a copy. It can be known as a copy, general term. Okay, general meaning is copy. Instance of class is known as object. So same copy will be copied into the object. Okay, blueprint of object is class. Okay, so whatever the class we are writing, for that the blueprint is nothing but object. When we create an object, we get the sufficient memory space for the data members of class. So when we are going to create the object, at that time only the memory will be created for the variables which we are created in the class. Okay, creating an object is in Java is nothing but dynamically allocating memory by making use of new operator. So in Java, dynamic memory allocation will be there. Already we learned about this. Okay, creating an object in Java means what? Dynamically allocating memory by making the use of the new operator. By using new operator, we will create the object. In Java, to create an object, we have two syntaxes. Okay, so we will see one by one here. So first, we should write class name space object name is equal to new operator space class name. Again, we have to write class name. Open the bracket, close the bracket, and semicolon. Okay, mostly we are going to use this method only, the first method. Okay, this method only to create the object. So for example, here we created student class. Okay, then same for the same class we want to create the object. So class name we should write first. Okay, capital S no, student space any object name, that is nothing but user defined word. It can be any user defined word. Object name means it can be any user defined word. Okay, we can use any user defined word here, but the relevant names we should give here. Okay, S1 is equal to new space student. So again here we have to write class name, that is nothing but yes. Then here parenthesis we have to use, that is nothing but opening and closing brackets semicolon. So when this statement will get executed by the computer, what will happen exactly? Whatever the data members we written in the class, that means whatever the variables we written, okay, whatever the statements we written in the class to create the variables, for that variables memory will be allocated in the computer. Okay, that is a meaning. So the same object can be created in this way also. See here, class name space object name then semicolon. Okay, this is the first statement. Okay, Then in the next line, what we can do, object name is equal to new, then space class name. So by using these two statements also we can create the object. So the same example we will see now. So first we have to write class name space object name. Okay. Then semicolon. Then immediately in the next line, what we have to do? Object name. What is our object name? S1 is equal to new operator space class name. So here also S must be capital. Then semicolon. Okay. This is the another way of creating the object. Okay. Clear? Now, so same memory will be in the same way the memory will be allocated. We can use anything from these two types of syntaxes. We can use any one in the program. Okay. Now we will see the difference between the class and object. Okay. What is the first difference? The process of binding the data members and method in a single unit is known as a class. Already we have seen in the definition. Okay. So what is a class? It is a process of binding. So what is the meaning of binding? Combining. It is like combining the data members and methods in a single unit. Okay, that is nothing but a class. So what is object? The class variable is known as an object. Class variable means what here? See, here we've written the class. Then here it is one variable. S1 is one variable. This can be called as class variable also. It can be called as class variable. Okay. So that is the reason why the class variable is known as an object. Okay. What is the second point here? When we define a class, there is no memory for data members. So when we are defining the class, memory will not be allocated. Just we are defining, that's all. But when we will create the object, memory space will be allocated for the members of class. Members of class means nothing but variables. Okay. All the classes in Java will have logical existence. Logically, it will be existed. The existence of classes are logical, that's all. But objects that will be existed physically. Okay, physically means what? Memory will be allocated for the objects. Okay, memory will be allocated for the objects. That means